Hey guys, Andy here. If you're a subscriber, you may have seen recently, well, in the last 6 months, I've reviewed the Bose QC35-2s and the Sony WM1000X2s, if I think I've got that right, which are both high-end Bluetooth noise-cancelling headphones. I was lucky enough to kind of have access to both of them at the same time, so I did a comparison video, and I found it really interesting actually to review. So recently I thought, I'd like to try some other headsets and just see what they sound like. So I chose the Sonys. For me, the Sonys are best. One of the big factors was their aptX and lack of audio latency, so I can use them playing games as well. And the Bose just didn't have that. They were quite laggy in that respect, but the Bose are very comfortable. Anyway, this is not about them. But it just got me thinking, I'd love to try some other ones. So I contacted Sennheiser, and they were good enough to send me, just to review, the PXC 550s. As you can see there, again, the wireless and their adaptive noise cancellations. So I thought I'd just be sent like a review unit, but these were sealed. I don't know if they're brand new or not, but so I figured, well, I better do a proper bit of an unboxing then. If we have a look at the box actually, so at the top there you can see it says, so obviously they're Bluetooth 4.2, Noise Guard, which is their version of the sort of noise cancellation. Long haul endurance with up to 30 hours battery life, like the Sonys, so that's very good. Business grade calls with triple microphone array, so that'll be quite interesting to try to see how you sound. And controls and customize so the Captune is their app that you use, and I'll come to that in a little while. There's different little bits and pieces sort of scattered around the box, but I like 30 hours battery life. I think that's quite a big one, especially because a lot of people are going to use these sort of things on aeroplanes. And you could easily be on a sort of 10 or a 12 hour flight, and you don't want that sort of battery anxiety. That's quite nice. It's the sort of spongy element within the box. So the boxes are very sort of nice, well made. That's decent cardboard. They've not cheaped out there. So here we see, well, it feels very nice as well. So this, I think this is it looks like a new box. So in the box we've got obviously the foam padding. We've got some instructions which we'll only use if we're desperate, basically. Let's put them aside. Most of these type of headphones come with a carry case. That's quite a nice one. Sennheiser. I would worry still if I sat on it. Perhaps it's not a hard case. And there are the headphones. Oh, is that supposed to be? And there are the headphones. Yeah, they are new. Look, they've got the sort of the pulley-offy bit. So you can see, even just looking at let's come to those in a second, I suppose. Again, it's a very nice quality of sort of packaging. And let's see what we have in here. So I quite like that. So you've got the small, the 3.5mm to, or whatever size that is, the bigger one, and you've got the kind of, is that just for aeroplanes? I don't know. Why do aeroplanes do that? But that's like that one. That's quite nice. I like they've done that. Let's put that back into the. We then have a regular sort of audio cable with, it looks like a sort of a start-stop button on it. So that's useful. I'm hoping I won't need to use that. And we then have a charging cable, micro USB. I've yet to see any that use USB Type-C, which would be nice because that's now what a lot of phones use, and you want to just have one charging cable or the same connector at least. But micro USB, I'm sure, or I hope, like everybody's got those knocking around at this point, except maybe Apple fanboys. I don't know. So I don't think I actually need any of those, or hopefully I won't need any of those. I'm going to leave them in the box. Let's put the box aside, and let's come back to the headphones. So, oh, that's really stiff. Oh, okay, they're kind of, well, I don't know what happened there. They clicked into place. So that's. Oh. What did you say, love? Oh, they're pairing apparently. I'm not sure what it is I'm pressing. I guess it's to do with. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So, twist the ear cup to switch on. Yeah, I guess I quite like that. That's the on-off switch. So then I don't know. That means you can't hang them up, I guess, with the ear cups sort of as they are. So that's the right hand side. Actually, I'm going to pop them on for a bit of a comfort test. Oh, they feel a little smaller than most. That's not a problem, obviously, because it adjusts. So they... How does that not look? Maybe that one's extended a bit more than the other. Is that me, or is it like there's a bit of a lean going that way? And I can hear her talking to me, pairing, she says. So yeah, I mean they feel quite comfortable. Let's turn them off again. I assume that is. That cup feels a little smaller than some other cups. I'm getting sweaty on them. It's a hot day, honestly, and I can't have the aircon on because you won't hear me. Generally, that they feel very well made. That all feels very sort of solid, and although that looks okay, so that's the hinge point. I was gonna say that's probably the weak point, isn't it? But even then, that's quite a thick bit of fairly sturdy sort of plastic, and I like how it snaps into place as well. Do both sides bend? Don't want to break them. Yeah. So both sides fold in, so you can go kind of either way, and that's when they're in. That's our travelling position. Now, do we see? Oh, is that an actual? I don't know what that is. So maybe I'll need to have a quick look at the instructions at some point. Okay, so that shows it's in pairing, I guess, because it's flashing through. There's the marker USB for the charging, and I will have to look up what that switch is. I don't see an actual. I don't see an NFC logo. Normally they're a bit more subtle than that. Is that on the actual? I mean, I assume that's supposed to peel off. Yeah. So the NFC. I'm going to leave it on for me. I don't see that I need to take it off. Just so I remember where the NFC is. So the NFC is on the left cup. The instructions on the right cup. Twist the cup to switch on. We've sort of figured. And then is that just saying it's touch up or down? So I guess we're going to swipe up or down for the volume. So I'm going to bring in my Pixel 2 XL at this point. It says, do you want a pair? Yes, please. And it should, I can hear it saying pairing successful. Oh, has it started playing already? Let's have a listen. It was taking quite a while before it said volume full or something like that. Sounds very good. Sounds very good. I'm at this point wondering, how do we actually turn on? So I think what I'll do, I'll have a quick read of the instructions, so I kind of roughly know what I'm doing, and then I'll come back to you. So what I said I was going to do was go away and read the instruction manual, which I did, but I've used the headphones for 2 or 3 days now. Quite a lot, to be fair, mainly in kind of an indoors environment, but it's been quite good because I had the air conditioner on, because it's been hot. I've used the washing machine, so I'll be able to test the noise cancelling there, which we'll come to shortly. So I did wonder if I should wait and use it more, but I don't really have any opportunity to be. I'm not going on the tube anytime soon. I'm definitely not flying anywhere. So I'm just going to do more of the same. So I think I've kind of learnt all I need to know about these headphones, and we'll progress into the kind of the review stage of things, starting with the design and hardware. I think these are possibly they feel like the best made headphones that I've used. They're really they're quite sturdy. They just feel well made. They feel quality. I love how things click into place, including the turning of the earphones. None of it feels kind of loose. None of it sort of feels like it flaps about, or it's. I think I've done a test with the ones where I've shaken a bit. Look, I have to really give it some welly to get them to move. Everything just feels quality. One thing I didn't realise, the USB can be used for kind of audio as well, so you can plug into your laptop, plug into USB, it will charge from the laptop, but it also pass the audio through, as well as obviously the 3.5mm jack. The switches on the side, I've learnt sort of fully how they work. So this is the noise cancelling switch, that's fully on, that's fully off, and in the middle is active, which I'll show you in the app shortly. There is another switch up the top here. You see that one in there? That's to actually turn the Bluetooth off, should you want to do that. I did find the buttons are a little bit hard to find when you're wearing them, because they are quite small. It's not a big problem. You sort of feel your way around. You will get there eventually, but just found them a little hard. The touch controls, I'm quite used to touch controls because my Sonys have that. They seem to work quite well. I like the audio pass through with a double tap, and you can basically, the microphones are used to detect the outside noises and pass them through, slightly amplified through the earpieces. That works very well. The mode button, that cycles through club, movie, speech and off, and generally seem to be sort of good, sort of kind of preset graphic equalizers really, I suppose, and they seem to work very well. But yeah, I think the overall thing is just that it just feels really well made. The sort of hardware is very top tier, I guess, basically, which you would hope when you're paying sort of £300+. If we move on to comfort, now this is where I had a bit of an issue. So you saw in the first part, that's the right way around, that actually I have to extend out the arms a little bit for me. And I think generally they're made for someone with a slightly smaller head, perhaps. I'm quite a big guy. I'm like 6'3" and generally quite big. And I suppose my head is bigger than most people, perhaps. But I just felt there was a bit more pressure on my head than most headsets, and that maybe the cups weren't quite big enough. And I mean, to me, they look fairly a normal size. They don't look small. But I was finding myself, and I do it with most headsets, to be fair, I kind of have to move them around a bit to try and make sure that my ear is in a nice comfortable position, that it's not being pressed or folded, and I just found that it was a bit harder with these than most headsets I've used, and it would get a little uncomfortable after kind of 40-50 minutes, maybe an hour. I'd be moving around a lot, and there'd be just some weird little sort of annoyance or almost a pain in my ear, and I'd be having to reposition the earphone to try and mitigate that. So a little bit of a surprise there. I wasn't really expecting that, and I think I've watched a couple of the reviews, and other people have mentioned that there's a bit more pressure on your head. So yeah, slight issue for me. Probably if you've got a smaller head, maybe that's a non-issue totally, but I thought I should mention it. Then on to perhaps the main point, the noise cancellation. And again, it's not quite as good as I might have hoped, if I'm honest. So it is good, don't get me wrong, and it's still quite impressive. I sort of lent them. Someone at work said, "Oh, I was thinking of, I was looking at these headphones, I'd have to try them," and he was trying them and playing some music. And then when he paused the music and then was switching the noise cancellation, and you could hear some big like condenser units outside the office window, and he was switching around, and he could, wow, that's quite impressive. So it is good. I think personally, having compared this against my Sony headset, the more sound gets through is the bottom line. And it's not a great amount, but for example, when I'm sat watching a TV or sat on my bed and my air conditioning is just down here, when that's running with my Sonys on, I almost don't know it's running. I have to kind of like, oh yeah, it is on. With these, I could hear a little bit of noise getting through, so I knew it was on. I could hear a slightly higher pitch was coming through. Likewise, when I stood by the washing machine and that was going, again, generally they did a great job of cancelling out a lot of the noise, but there was a little bit of noise. The washing machines are pretty chug. It's quite a sort of loud, aggressive noise, and I don't think you're going to find any headphones that are totally going to be able to cut all of that out. But the Sonys, there was just a little bit more sound coming through. Sorry, the Sennheisers, there's just a little bit more sound coming through than my Sonys, or the Bose for that matter. So. And again, I've noticed other people commenting reviews a similar thing, so I'm glad I wasn't like imagining it. So not quite as good on the noise cancellation. On the flip side, there's almost no white noise. So other headsets like my Sony's, you turn noise cancellation on and they cancel, but you can hear a white noise. You don't really get that with the Sennheisers. It's very quiet. So if you've not got large noises like an air conditioner or a condenser unit or a washing machine, actually they're probably better, because there's none of that. It is just a silence. It's really nice. It's surprising. Until you've heard it, you don't kind of appreciate it, I suppose, or almost don't believe that it can be like that. And just something else that someone else commented, again, it's not really something that I noticed, but maybe linked into the fact that it's not quite as aggressive. You don't feel a kind of a pressurized feeling on your ears like some of them I think you kind of do. So again, if I think some people have issues with that, the Sennheisers might be your answer to that. So then if we come to the kind of software and the features, one thing I noticed was everything that connects to the Sennheisers is a phone. So if I connect my TV, phone 1 connected. If I connect my computer, basically using that, phone 2 connected, or something like that. It has no way of knowing what the different things are, which that could be a Bluetooth limitation, but at the same time, I'm sure you get a name when if you go to pair a device, it often says something about it. It's got a name of some kind, it's got a label. It's a shame it can't announce the label, because if it said Samsung PS50 or whatever it's called, I would at least know, because there are times I've heard it say phone 1 connected. I'm not sure what they've connected to, because I've got 2 different phones that have both been paired to. I've got my TV, I've got the computer, and you're not sure which bits it's actually connected to. You've got to go through the different devices looking to see what it's connected to. Then a slight issue in that I'm running Android P, the beta version, on my Pixel 2 XL, and the Captune app, Sennheiser Captune app, won't work on Android P, it would seem. I mean, I assume it's Android P. I didn't dig out another phone running a different version to check it. To be honest, I whipped out my for development purposes only, iPhone. So there's the app, Captune. And when we go in, let's now turn the headphones on. I'm not sure about the turning the heads today. I think I quite like it. I think it takes a little bit of getting used to remember not to turn them flat unless you want, because like my friend that was looking at them kind of, you just turn them off by that. Oh, right, okay. Or you might hang them up, leaving them open and leave them turned on. So I'm a little undecided. So the app, to me, it seems quite a simple app really in some ways. We've not got many different features. So we've got the effect modes that we can see here. So it tells us what effect mode we're in, and I would assume where's my buttons? If I loop through, you see it says speech, off, club, movie. Actually, I'd probably have it on club as a general rule. Audio prompts, the language, call enhancement. To be honest, I did make a call and it sounded very good. I didn't turn the call enhancers on until afterwards. I didn't realise. The smart pause, in theory. So that's playing now. Put the headphones on, and in theory, hopefully, so that stopped. Put them back on, and it starts again. Quite a simple feature, but quite useful, I think. You can, as you saw, you can turn that off if that's not something that you want. We've got sort of different colour themes. I'm not particularly bothered. Oops. Not particularly bothered by that. And right, so where are we? So noise guard, if I try and adjust, it tells me you've got to switch it to active mode. So I'm going to flick this half. Oh, let's see, that's gone all the way off. And it started playing for some reason. I'm not quite sure why that is. Let's pause it again. But now we're on the active mode. I can change the amount of noise cancellation, which can be handy. You might not want full noise cancellation. So the app, to me, is a little bit basic, a little bit simple in some ways, not as good as some other devices' apps. I've mentioned the voice pass-through. So the equalizer there is an equalizer in there, and I guess it's at this point. Can we go back to it? So you can change things, but that's only, I think, for audio stored on the actual device. If we get into just kind of the actual performance of the headset, for one thing, the Bluetooth range seems very good. I was able to leave my phone in here, wander through into my kitchen, which is going through a few different walls, and I do have problems if I'm using it with from that box, but from the phone. Actually, with these headsets, I don't know. I don't think I walk through using the computer, but on my Sony's, if I'm connected to this and I walk into the kitchen, it does start breaking up and crackling. And actually, they worked rather through into the kitchen, listen to music, put the washing on, come back in, no problems at all. So that was really good. Also, for me, very important, there was no audio latency that I would notice. So as I was playing things like Overwatch, and you're firing a gun, which is very much a snappy noise, on the Bose headset, you fire and then the noise comes through, and it's really off-putting. It just doesn't work. On the Sennheisers, I didn't notice any of that at all. I could happily game with no problems, which can also affect if you're watching a movie or something, because when there's clinking noises or gunshots, it's a bit weird if it's not synced up. But actually, it seemed to work just great. The sound quality, I thought the sound quality was really very good. They're possibly the better headset for sound quality. I didn't really compare directly to the Bose, but I thought actually just really very clear, a good range of noises, They weren't incredibly loud, I would say, probably louder than you need to be, where it actually should perhaps have given you a warning, because I could feel them almost vibrating on my head when I turned them up to full volume on the phone and in the headset. So very capable in that respect. And the battery life, I don't know if you saw there in the app. So where did it say the battery life? Up there, 80%. Now, I have only been using them for a few days, but yesterday I must have spent 5 or 6 hours yesterday alone wearing these earphones, playing games, watching TV. Anything I did that I could, I used the headphones. To still have 80%, I'm really impressed, really impressed. So I don't really have, with the noise cancellation, they say it only lasts for 20 hours. I've had the noise cancellation the whole time. I think the 20 hours should be quite easy. So battery life, definitely a very strong point. So all in all, I think a very nice headset, very nice. If you don't compare to other headsets, well, the top for me, the sort of the gold class of the Bose and the Sonys, the noise cancellation is still very good and you'll be impressed by them. The sound quality, fantastic. The build quality, really very good, really premium headset. So although for me, not quite as good as the Sony and maybe not quite as good as the Bose, they're still very much a thumbs up. If you've bought this headset already, you might be watching this going, shut up Andy, these are the best, these are amazing. And I can understand why you say that, because they are a really very good headset. And it's not that I would say don't buy them, there's just certain bits, there's slightly things that are slightly different. You've got to pick what you want in your headset, I suppose. The sound quality and volume, fantastic. The no white noise, the build quality, all really, really very good here in the Sennheisers. So there we go. The Sennheiser PXC 550s. They're about 300, 330. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But for now, my name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.